I'm pretty sure many of you are familiar with the game Google Snake. Today we're going to be making our own inside Scratch. If you're not familiar with the game, I will show you a quick demonstration of what it is. It's basically a simple snake game. You know, you're the snake, the more you eat, the longer you are. And if you hit the edge, obviously you lose. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Okay, so now we're in Scratch. I'll show you my own game of Google Snake. So let's click play. So basically it's about the same thing. So when you collect some, oops, I just died already. So see, you collect an apple, you get bigger. As you can see, it was like pulsating in the beginning. Like as you can see, like when you start, you can see like the sprite's like pulsating a little bit. It's because it's too big. If you wanted to not do that, then you can set the sprite as a smaller. But since I already said it like that, I'll show you guys. So basically, as you eat more, the more you eat, the longer your length is, and the goal is to survive as long as you possibly can. So yeah, that's basically my version of Google Snake. Yeah, I just died right there. So that's my version of Google Snake. So without further ado, let's create a new project. So I'm gonna create a new project. You guys have noticed that we've hit 8K subscribers recently, and currently 89.3% of you guys are not subscribed watching our channel. So please help us get to 9K subscribers quicker by clicking the subscribe button. That would really help and support our channel. Alright, and then first I'm going to rename the project to Google Snake. I already have all the sprites inside my backpack, the head and stuff. I'll also get the background as well. So yeah, I just got the backdrop. I actually forgot to get it, so here it is. So all the sprites will be in the Google Drive, remember? So first I'm going to put in the backdrop. It's just like the Google Snake backdrop, you know? It looks like this. It's like a grid. And then we'll delete the scratch cat, and let's put in our sprite. So right here we have the body and the head. And like I said earlier, sometimes you see it's like pulsating a little bit. You can obviously just decrease the size of it. There we go. So now we have the two sprites, two costumes. One is the head, one is the body. And we're gonna get the apple, so like the snake's gonna eat the apple, right? So first we're going to set the apple to maybe 50%, not too big. Yeah, that's perfect size. So apple, we're going to get that sprite, and we need one more sprite, but I will add that later on. So let's go to the snake again. Let's go to the head. So inside the head, we're going to get when green flag is clicked. I'm going to rename the head actually, so it's easier to know. I'll name it player. Okay, so that's the snake. I'm going to zoom in a little. Okay, so when green flag clicked, then we're going to switch the costume of head. Switch head. And switch costume to the head costume. You see? And we're going to make a new variable. This is called length. We're going to name it length for all sprites. Length. And then we're going to make another variable. We're going to name it high score. And we're going to make a cloud variable, so it's stored on the cloud, so then you can see who has the highest score. And then right here in the beginning, we're going to set both of the variables to 0. So we're going to set the length, and we're going to set the high score variable to 0. Also, after this, we're going to set the position of the player to 0, 0, which is the middle of the screen. And then we're going to get a forever loop. We're going to make him forever go 3 steps. Move 3 steps. So it will move no matter what. Move 3 steps. And we're going to if touching the edge. Touching edge. So if the player is touching the edge, then we're going to broadcast a message. And we're going to name it game over. Game over. And then we're going to broadcast a message called stop all. And we're going to make a new variable called score. We'll also need this later for all sprites as well. Alright. And then after this, we are going to, when green flag clicked, another one. When green flag clicked, we're going to forever wait 0.25 seconds and create a clone of myself. And then right here, we're going to make the movement of the snake. So remember, you got to look at this from the snake's perspective. So let's say he's pointing downwards, right? He's pointing downwards. It's going to, left is going to be this way for it, and right is going to be this way. So now we're going to create the movement for it. So we're going to, when this key is pressed, when key left is pressed. When key left is pressed, we're going to use an if-else. So if the direction is greater than 0, so direction 0 is pointing up, right? So if it's greater than 0, meaning that means it's somewhere on this side. That means, so if direction is greater than 0, if it's greater than 0, then we're going to turn 90 degrees. So that means it will turn to the right, turn 90 degrees to the right. So let's say it's going up, direction is 0, then we're going to turn to the right 90 degrees, else it's going to go to the left. So you have to look at this from the snake's perspective, not yours. Right? It has to be left, like that. Then we're just going to duplicate this. Okay, so right here, when the key right arrow is pressed and the direction is greater than 0, we're going to turn left instead of right. So it's going to turn left instead of right. Also, in the beginning, you might want to set this direction to 0. I mean 180. 180 is pointing the bottom. So I'm going to set it to 180 in the beginning. And we're just going to duplicate this again. We're going to do bottom. So if the down arrow key is pressed and direction is greater than 0, we're going to, we're just going to keep this same thing. It's going down, and if the direction is greater than 0, we're going to turn right. So we're going to do it this way. If it's greater than 0, obviously you're going to turn this way because this side is greater than 0. Else we're going to turn to the left. Alright. Duplicate this one last time. Right, left, down, up. Now we have the up. So, up arrow. So, if the direction is greater than 0, we're going to turn left 90 degrees. Else we're going to turn right 90 degrees. Just going up. 0 is going to be, greater than 0 is going to be this way, right? So if it's greater than 0, we're going to make it turn left, else it's going to turn right. So that means if it's facing to the right, then it's going to turn left. So yeah, it's kind of hard to understand because you have to look from the snake's perspective, not yours. Right now, obviously, it is not working yet because we have this thing. We'll need it later. I'll show you how it'll work. Alright. And then next, we're going to, when green flag clicked, we are going to reset the timer. And forever, set the score to timer. Alright, so if you unplug this from the code, when we play it, it's going to move normally, right? Yeah, so the snake can move around pretty well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll now make the length, and we also added the score, right? The timer. So, and then next we are going to attach this back on. So when I start as a clone, we are going to switch the costume to body, which is the second costume. So when it's getting cloned, we're going to switch it to this one instead of the first one. As you can see right here, if you ran it, if you took this out, it would be like this. Yeah, and we do not want that, so that's why we have to do switch costume to body when it starts as a clone. And we're going to set the size to 75%, so it isn't too big. And we're going to wait the length seconds. So we're going to wait whatever the length is. So length is 5, we'll wait 5 seconds. So we're going to wait length seconds, however long the player is, and then we're going to delete this clone. Alright, save it. Obviously, it won't work because you have to eat something in order to grow. So now we are going to make it so that you can eat something and you will grow. Also, when you play it, you can see that it's pulsating a little bit. If I like zoom in, you probably could see it. But yeah, it's like a little pulsate effect right there. And we don't want that, so you can make it even smaller if you want. So there. Let's see if it has any more. Still has it a bit. Let's make it. Yeah, as you can see now, it's pretty much invisible. It's not visible anymore. All right. Stop the project. Save it. Let's go to the apple. So inside our apple, we're going to go to the code. When green flag clicked, make it bigger. So we're going to go to a pick random -200 to 200 place for the X, and then for the Y, I'm going to do -150 to 150. So the apples will spawn from here to here, from here to here. So it's going to spawn like pretty much all around here. All right, and then we're going to get a forever loop. Forever, we're going to make it so if the head of the snake touches the apple, then it will get eaten. So we're going to get a touching color. So we're going to get if forever if touching the color. So you get the tip of the snake, like right there. If it's touching that color, then we're going to change the length by 1. Change the length by 1, and we're going to go to duplicate this again and put this right here. Alright. So now let's run the game. So as you can see, you will get bigger every time you eat it. And I think I made the body too small, so let me go ahead and increase the size a bit. Okay, let's see how good it is now. Let's eat an apple. Yeah, so that's more like it. That's more like it. Yeah. Alright, so now let's make it play some music, I guess. So let's go to the backdrop code. We can move the variables around a little. Let's put high score and score over here. And length. So let's make it play some music. We're going to just pick a random sound. I don't know. Let's go to loops. Classical piano, whatever. Actually, no. This does not fit the theme of the game. What did I have last time? I think I had like dance magic or something. Let's get that. Nah. Yeah. Whatever this is. Yeah. All right. So when green flag clicked, forever. We're going to play them sound dance magic until done. Okay, now let's go back to the player real quick. So inside the player, we are going to put the high score mechanic into the game. So let's move out of the way, move this stuff out of the way. And then we're going to get an if then statement. So if, put in the forever loop, we're going to do if a high score is less than the score, or score is greater than high score. Then we're going to set the variable high score to score. Alright, there you go. Okay. Actually, I don't know why I'm setting the high score to 0. It should be score. Sorry about that. I think I looked at the wrong thing. Set the wrong thing. So you want to set the high score to score. Okay, so that's more like it. Let's run the game. As you can see, the high score is going up with the score because it's the high score so far. Yeah, as you can see, the snake is growing big. The length is in the top right hand corner. You can see that it's also getting bigger. Yeah, so that's basically it. Now we can add a game over, and then our game will be finished. So let's make a red text because usually game over is red, I guess. I don't know. Game over. Let's make it big. About that big. Maybe a little smaller actually. That's a bit too big. That big. Okay. Alright, that's alright. So then we go when green flag clicks. Gonna go to front layer, make sure it's in the front, and we're going to hide, and we're going to go to 0, 0, And then when I receive game over, then we will be showing this thing, and we will stop all. Okay, so now let's run the game. So you can see, it's growing bigger. See, the length is getting bigger as well. So in our game, you can't actually lose by hitting your tail, because the thing is, you're always touching the body. So if you want to make it so that you die when you touch your tail, then you're going to have to make it a separate sprite. So this is just a simple version of Google Snake. So yeah, that's pretty much for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.